And we are recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Stephen D. Kelly. This is the Stephen D. Kelly Show, www.truthcatradio.com. It is now 6:02 p.m. It is, what the hell, October still, 24th. Going to be Halloween pretty soon, 2024. 10/24/2024. If that isn't a pattern, I don't know what is. Sorry, I'm talking away. I have two people with me tonight. I've got Wooder Stru. Right? Did I get it? Close? Close enough? All right, cool. And I've got the one and only Miss Jessica Walker. Miss, soon to be. Never mind. Not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Well, you know what I'm saying. Hey, you guys want to shout? Okay. Wooder and Jessica both want to give shout outs to the ones they love. So if you're listening, we won't mention any names. No, I'm not going to mention any names. Relax. Okay, I'm screwing around tonight because, seriously, I don't really care. I'm entertaining. That's okay. I get to do that. These two, actually, several people came back from Vegas with us. Susie came back also, but she's leaving tomorrow. And unfortunately, she didn't come out here. I think she's hanging out with Rob Roy over there. But we didn't see Rob either. But we did see Jose again. Jose's probably on a date tonight, and he's not going to be listening. I'm pretty sure he's on a date. Anyway, Jose, here's to you being a good boy with that young girl. All right? When you listen to this later, you can tell me whether you feel guilty or what. But we are going to talk a little bit about Vegas. And I wasn't sure how to do it because sometimes these things are painful, especially when I get on a panel. But at the same time, they're historic and world shaking and ground shifting and all that sort of thing. And I'm not going to complain to David because, it wasn't that long ago I did a show called, what was it called? Wow, look at all these people just showed up. Hi, guys. I did a show called Why You Should Never Go to an Event by David Farman. But here I am. I've gone to two now. I've done two, and I'll probably do more. But we got into it a little bit, and he needs help. I think he needs a lot of help. And there's stuff that he was doing that I really didn't like, people he had up on there and involved in the program. And I'm trying to tell him quality over quantity. But the bottom line is, at the very least, at one point, we had a situation on stage involving myself and Kerry Cassidy and some other people. And I'll tell you, there was a crack, a fracture in the audience. And they kind of agreed. So this could mean one of two things. It could be either a death knell for the entire industry, or it could be a wake-up call for people like David, or people that would be like David, to don't do these things, to provide valuable content that people actually feel that they want. I'll tell you, let me just try to, paraphrase without going into the details, but I think in the truth community, especially people that are willing to pay to come out to these events. In this case, this event was kind of focused around aliens. At least the panel that I was on was about aliens. And I think that a lot of the people that do that, they want to have answers. They're looking for fulfillment. They're looking for something, a source of information that they can turn to that will make them be a little less afraid of what they're facing and what there is coming. And I'll tell you, unfortunately, a lot of this, of course, would probably, you could say, is indicative of people who don't have Jesus in their lives, certainly, or they're easily led astray, or they need to have this coming in from so many different directions and so many sources that they think they need to be covering all their bases just in case. Now, obviously, I don't believe in that at all. I believe certainly that Jesus is the only liaison conduit that we have to source. And all these other entities that would try to talk to us, are not our friends. The ones that are your friends don't talk to you unless you're really special. And you have to take everything with a grain of salt. So, in a way, it's very unfortunate when you see these people that are so let's just say, passionate and needing of some sort of information from some extraterrestrial source or otherwise that makes them feel at one with their existence. Unfortunate. I don't do that. And I got up there and basically said there's no such thing as a good Anunnaki, a good Gray, or a good Draco. But I also said there's no such thing as a good Mason or a good pedophile. Clap, 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 clap. Thank you very much. My name is Stephen Kelly. Thank you very much. Remember that? That was fun, huh? My name is, no, I didn't say my name is Stephen Kelly. Thank you very much. I said my name is Stephen Kelly. Occupy the Getty. Right? That was an epic moment. And poor Carrie Cassidy, she practically had her, well, I wouldn't say she had her face in her hands. That's what I would be doing when she would be talking, but she looked like she was in pain, definitely. She looked like she was having a, I don't know, perhaps a uncomfortable feeling from the night before. Anyway, her body language said it all. And I know if you've seen the video, we have it on my channel, my Telegram channel, Occupy the Getty / Stephen D. Kelly. It's probably the only place you're going to see it. I really don't know if David is actually going to offer that to the public to see what happened. Let's take a vote. Quick vote. Wooter, Jessica, do you think David will actually let that film of that fiasco that took place on that panel, do you think he'll let that video out? What do you think? Yeah?
He should do.
You think he will?
He should do.
I know he should, but what do you think? I know it's like, could be money. Because I personally think he's not going to do it because it was, shall we say, not complimentary to David. Yeah, he kind of, well, let's put it this way. Two things I told David before this event. And I've told him these things many times, but I emphasized this very hard prior to this one particular event. And I said this, one, do not put Eric the Healer on stage. Don't do that under any circumstances. Under any circumstances, don't put him on stage with me. Which is exactly what happened, of course. So the other thing I told him is, well, if you want to make money, don't put Eric up there. And if you want to make money, don't mention flat Earth. So what happens? He lets Eric up there. He walks in the room and everyone goes, oh, Eric, come on up here. Get on the panel. Mind you, by this time it had 11 people on the panel. We did not need an 11-person panel. Quality over quantity. Anyway, Eric gets up there and talks his bullshit. And remember, this is a guy that's really a nobody. But bottom line, he started talking about flat Earth shit. The firmament, the ice wall. And what happened? By the time everything started falling apart, mostly because I was getting pissed and I was not cooperating at that point, I think. I don't know. You can blame it on me. It's okay. But things became a little bit wild. But right before they did, David grabbed the microphone and took it over. Remember, he's not even a moderator. That was the other guy, Brad Olson. And he just took it over. And he started talking about flat Earth. He put the microphone next to a cell phone where he played a recording from a TikTok video where somebody was talking about some BS alien psyop crap, as if that was important. Meanwhile, his stellar panel of experts on his panel sat there and listened to whatever bullshit was on the phone being pumped into a microphone. Now, seriously, I personally found that very insulting. And I let David know that. And that's why I think that it's going to be very, well, let's just say I'd be surprised if he actually releases that video and doesn't remove the part where I told him that he was insulting the people on the panel. But the real thing that came out of this, and of course I'm going to go there, it doesn't matter anymore, that is, I am now the big dog officially. There's no Sean David Morton. There's no Jordan Maxwell. There's no what's-his-face idiot Wilcox. I mean, there's none of these guys there anymore. They're all long gone, dead or in jail. I'm it. I am the senior, what would we call that? The person, yeah, as far as our little industry is concerned, it's myself and Carrie Cassidy, and Carrie's job is to create content with people like myself. So what does that leave us with? So-called super soldiers and quacks and wackos and what have you. I'm sorry, but there are no more legends. You know, Jordan Maxwell died. Okay, guys, you're stuck with me. TJ Morris, who I've had issues with, if you watch the video, you know who I'm talking about. She said the same thing. She said, "You're the star now." Now, I think that's all very well and good, and it doesn't really mean anything for my ego per se, but what it really goes to show is that here we are, 12 years after having come out and gone public, that we've saturated the world with our message somewhat. I've outlived all these other so-called talking head COINTEL truthers, and I'm the only game in town. And yet, just like we've been talking about in our group here recently, why am I not being interviewed by the new Miss came out of nowhere, Candace Owens, or the Mr. works for Israel, Alex Jones, or any of these people for that matter? People like Stu Peters. Stu Peters, are you kidding? He's a fucking Nazi. He's a Nazi wannabe stooge, COINTEL, former wannabe rapper / bail bondsman. The guy has no essence. Certainly not a man of God like he tries to portray himself. But the bottom line is, once again, I will tell you, if you're not having me on your show, if you're not interviewing me, you're either working for the enemy or you are dirt stupid. I know there's a lot of stupidity and retardation. It's getting really hard to ignore. But if you're smart enough to be able to run a podcast, you probably should know who I am. I mean, fuck. Roger Stone commented on a video put out there by one of the groups. I think it might have been Laura's group, Save the Children, or whatever it was, another Occupy group, or the one by Isabel. But either way, our stuff is saturating out there because of Diddy, because of Allie Carter. Everybody knows about the Getty now. Everybody's heard of Occupy the Getty. Everybody knows about me. It's getting out there, even though we live in a little bubble and we don't hear about it because we're, cloistered under a shield of censorship. I understand that. But in spite of that, it's actually spreading like wildfire, and that's pretty exciting. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm getting old. That's my excuse. I don't know what I'm talking about. So you guys are supposed to help me with that. But point is that, what is my point? My point is that, well, there's no excuse for these media people to not be talking to me at this point. There really isn't. And Jessica, don't scare those kitties. We're going to go to Getty tomorrow. That's right. Susie was supposed to go. It was her idea, but she has to leave, and she forgot that I have to do a show today. I wasn't about to skip a show because I never skip shows, but I did skip a show because of the event, which we were really talking about. I know. You guys have gotten used to my scattered brain nonsense, huh? Jessica made the reservation for the Getty, and I'll tell you, just listening to their online, whatever it is, they're asking, yes, we're going to create a profile for you before we'll let you in the door. I know you could probably just show up and go, oh, I need, get past the reservation thing, but yeah, it's very intrusive, and I know damn well I'm not going to be able to do that. Which reminds me of Roger Stone. Yeah, okay, so that you guys know who Roger Stone is, of course, that white-haired dude that works for Trump and was probably one of the main people behind the whole Q movement. Used to work for Richard Nixon as his dirty trickster. But I had done this video saying all kinds of, I think it was basically after the inauguration, and I was talking about how Trump would have had to, when he went to Vandenberg, viewed the secret space program, how he would have been exposed to the Getty and all this stuff like that. Well, anyway, Roger Stone's epic comeback in response to this was complete bullshit. And that may not sound like much, but the thing is the guy blew it. He blew it. He should have never said anything. He should have just ignored me, kind of like the way Gordon Getty ignores me. Could you imagine if Gordon Getty was so stupid that he would actually engage me in public? How stupid is that? So there you go, people. By idiot Roger Stone watching my video long enough to say it was complete bullshit, he's acknowledging that he's heard the information, and he's acknowledging that I'm the one that said it. So that is very significant, because now You can't play ignorance, kind of like Trump is doing. Uh-huh. All right. Anyway, what else do I want to tell you? I told you I didn't tell you this, but we've only been 17 minutes into the show. But I'm going to take these guys to Denny's. You know, that restaurant owned by Carlos Slim. We should talk about our fun little mall experiences and stuff like that. I don't do this. Go shopping. These are the kids. I got to talk about Wooter. First of all, Wooter, is that okay? Yeah. I already asked him if it was okay. He doesn't care. All right. Let me just say this, guys. Wooter's going through a transformation right now. He gets back home. All the local women are going to be all over this guy. Serious. He's going home with a LA hat, all right, and a all right, let me just say this. I kind of turned him into a little gangster. He's a little gangster now. Yeah. He's tossed his Netherlands issue, this and that, and now he's going home looking like he's not fresh out of Compton, fresh out of La Puente. Right? I got a shirt that says San Gabriel Valley. I want to get him. We may have to go back and get one that says La Puente. But right now, he's already having to toss stuff just to fit all his new clothes. His new clothes in his little bag. He's kind of like, he's traveling. Wooter's traveling with a bag, kind of like a hiker would do. But now, Jessica, on the other hand, here, she's got this massive. You could put a body in her bag. You could, huh? You could fit in that damn thing. I know. You've done it. Oh my God, don't do that. Oh, scary. But yeah, you would fit in that damn thing. All right, never mind. But they actually have to check out of the room that they're in over here in my neighborhood and check it at someplace else. So we're going to check them out early in the morning, relatively early. Then we're going to get on the freeway and go to the Getty. But I don't know what's happening, but there's a World Series in town, if you haven't heard, and it's between the Dodgers, the LA Dodgers, the one that have the stadium that we're going to be driving by to get back and forth from the Getty, playing, New York Yankees. So from what I understand, this is like the biggest, World Series ever, because, it'll be the most expensive World Series ever. Oh, I think it probably is because the Dodgers have that Japanese pitcher, Ohtani, if you know who I'm talking about. He's like Babe Ruth, only Japanese. Okay. And he pitches. I don't think Babe Ruth pitched. I think he was a catcher. Anyway, either way. So it's going to be stellar, but we're not going to watch that. But we do have to beat the traffic and one way or the other. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to try to wear an Occupy the Getty shirt and perhaps, keep it hidden until we're ready to go. I don't want anybody giving me a hard time. We'll take some pictures. We've got to take pictures, of course, if we do anything. But I hope they enjoy it. And I told Jessica, no getting upset. No, when you think about what's going on down there, don't think about it. You know what I mean. We're there on a mission. We're there to be seen. And I'll tell you something. That reminds me of the whole Vegas business, right? Because at the end of the day, the event really isn't important. And whatever it was that David has written down that thinks I'm going to say, that's not really important. But it's being in public. It's raising the flag. In this case, the Truth Cat Radio banner in a booth. And it's showing these assholes that fuck with us that we're not afraid to go into a public place and say where we're going to be at what time. Now, of course, we all traveled together, which I don't know. That could have been intimidating for the little grays of the world. But at the same time, maybe they're just stupid. They didn't know we were going to be there. I mean, it's not, if they were paying attention, they would have known we were going to be there, right? I mean, obviously, no Gary, no, Grand Sovereign Commander? I mean, come on, really? I thought he was supposed to be Las Vegas chapter. And Gray, what the fuck? I mean, excuse me, Emma lives there in Las Vegas, so I just don't understand what that was all about. But I came to realize after being on the trip a little while, packing, and I only wore the body armor one night, and that was very uncomfortable. Well, let's just say The worst time to wear body armor was sitting in a bench at a restaurant. I'm like, I want to slide around and slouch. You can't slouch in body armor. You start falling down into it like a turtle. I'm probably sure I looked a little bit silly with that body armor, huh? No, actually, I was wearing a tactical BDU jacket over it, black, just to match the pants. We went into a weed store. Black guy behind the kind of counter. He's really cool. He turned us on some. Let me just say this: Vegas weed has gotten a lot better in the last year or two. But he says, "Don't kill anybody." I'm like, what? Is it show? Is it show? Can you tell? Is that easy to tell? I don't know. I guess people have a way of knowing these things. But the point is that we dominated. No one else had an entourage. Nobody else had their own audience. Nobody else came there not trying to sell something, right? I mean, seriously. Nobody came there that motivated. And nobody stirred the crowd. I mean, obviously, I'm the only one speaking, but the point is that I don't know why David doesn't give me that damn microphone and let me energize and activate everybody there in the audience, because, people don't know who I am. The enemy is the one responsible for that. But the enemy knows who I am. Roger Stone sure knows who I am right now, I think. I would hope. I think he always did. But they're afraid. And I think that all we got to do is keep doing what we're doing. I mean, it's getting to the point. It's like I was telling Jessica over here. She does a lot of work. She spreads brochures. She goes on marches. She does all that stuff. And I was telling her, it's like you reach a certain point where you have been lighting so many fires that you don't need to light any more fires. You can sit back and watch that stuff burn and take off. And I mean, certainly it behooves us to never stop doing it. But at the same time, like I told her, she's the only one in the UK doing it practically. Like Susan. I mean, there's people in Australia that are doing it, but to really get out there and share the stuff, be all over Twitter, be all over social media, make the memes, make the handouts, flyers, leave them all over the place like graffiti. Huh. She's doing that out here in the airport at LAX, or was it Las Vegas? Oh no, that was a bus station, huh? Yeah, the bus station. That's what you got to do. That's how this is done. People, I swear, humans, stupid humans. Hello, people. Don't act like you're a good guy if you're not making any effort whatsoever. And I know a lot of people are naive and they're innocent and they don't understand and they're good at heart and all that. But sometimes, those of us that have been in the trenches for a while, it's hard for us to understand when somebody walks up and they say, gosh, what can I do? Or how's your progress? Or something of this nature that doesn't take into consideration all the work and all the progress we have made that actually brought them to us. And all I can say, if you're paying any attention at all, or if you're watching this and listening to this, is what are you doing? Those of us that are doing something, that's why you're here. That's why you've heard about it. That's why it's popular. That's why it's that energy that gives you the confidence to realize that this isn't some bullshit thing. This has actually got serious people behind it who are highly motivated and convinced and have faith. And that's what we need. And the more of those people we get, the more people will be attracted. And we're reaching that critical mass now to where that has to happen. But at the same time, the media is not going to let you know. That's why it's important for you to be bugging the hell out of these idiots like Alex Jones, etc., and everybody below him and from one side to the other of the spectrum. Has to be done. We have to be so big that they can't ignore us. We're getting ready to hit 7,007. We hit 7,770 people, and now we're dropped down to 58. I'm like, what? I think it was because there's some exchange between some of the ladies that got carried away in chat today, but it's all deleted. Anyway, point is, we're all kind of tired because we've been doing this for a long time. even if it just means flying all over the damn world to go to a silly event so that we can get together and pat each other on the back and say that we're all doing a good job and go back and continue doing it. It it doesn't matter. It works. It's worth it. And I'll tell you, like I said, the enemy sees everything. They hear everything, they know everything, and everything we do bothers them. So when they see members of our group, people who represent the Occupy the Getty mission coming in across the world in various different places and convening in one spot, they see that, A, we're not afraid. We're willing to make those sacrifices to do that. Of course, we helped, like Wood over there, we helped him. Fortunately, this young girl has a good helper, too. Anyway, some of us are not rich, and it's a serious sacrifice to do that. But I saved up a lot of money for me, a lot of money is 4 months of Social Security checks, but to buy, dinner and stuff for these people, to help them and do everything I can to take the pain away from these expenses to do these things. But it's all worth it because life is short, and anything that we can do to instill confidence and motivate and give strength to the people that are working the hardest in our movement is a very good investment. Okay, but at the same time, as I'll be the first one to tell Jessica, it doesn't come first. I mean, obviously, yes, Occupy the Getty is number one in my life, but I also have to eat, and I also like to have my tea, and I also like to maybe, my bong hits and stuff. But hey, you got to have a family. You got to have a job. You've got to live in this 3D world. But after Jesus and your family, your significant other, number one is Occupy the Getty. And there's no reason why you can't fit all that stuff in. So, and if you realize that that's really the only thing that's important, and you cut out all the other bullshit, like other talking heads, other people that are pretending to be serving the mission, that's a very wise thing to consider doing. Okay, you guys, seriously. And when I talk to you, I'm telling you, you don't need to listen to any radio. You don't need to, whatever distractions, you don't need anything to take. If you're going to watch a movie, just understand that it's BS. It has no application to reality, and don't allow it to have any influence on your perception of reality. Very, very important. Okay, what about this movie where they did this thing? Is that what it's like? Whatever. No. What other advice can I give you? I really don't think it should take too much for you guys, especially those of you that are in my group, to figure out what we're doing here. If you look at the pinned message at the top, I'll just read that for your benefit here, just so you can understand, because this, I think, is a good way of expressing what this mission is all about. Ultimately, this is for the group. At the same time, this is for all of you that are interested. Okay? Attention, all new members. The purpose of this group is to teach you how to fight and how to win this war. Your job is to become an expert on the Occupy the Getty mission. I need you to become focused on this one issue and passionate about growing our members, that's all of you, that we can complete our work. You need to use every tool available to you and to spread our information and to recruit new people. The fate of the entire world rests on your efforts. You are now part of the most exclusive club on earth fighting evil. We are a powerful force that scares the shit out of the enemy. And you should know that our people are blessed and protected. We strive to lose all fear and to understand that this mission is inevitable and written in stone. We are destiny that cannot be diverted or stopped. We are the brush fire that will turn into an inferno. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Isn't that not everything I've said so far? That's kind of a summation. I should just quit right there. 22 minutes into the show. And you guys go like, no, we want more. I know, huh? I owe you. I told you. I'll work on it. I told these guys I was going to bring them in. Which one of you are brave? Wooter, you're the man now. What do you want to tell these people? Serious. I'm serious. Don't tell me from there. You got to come over here and do it. All right. This is your poppin' cast, dude. Okay. Poppin' cast. Wooter in the house. Okay. Wooter is going to come out. Wooter, introduce yourself and give us some insight into everything that you've been through and what have you. What have you learned? Just come on, get into the microphone.
Yeah, so I'm Wouter. I am. I arrived here like a week ago. I've been to Las Vegas. It was really, really weird experience. Like everything being so big and all the over the top stuff and like that. Paid for by Trump and stuff. And yeah, like. It's a whole creation of a big city, and all the talking heads there are just just talking shit.
Just talking heads, talking shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
everything they say is controlled. It's like you see through the charade a bit when you're there. Like yeah.
So that was kind of an eye-opening experience, huh?
Yeah.
Well, all right. I appreciate that. I don't expect you to do too much. I mean, okay. Now Jessica here, she missed the whole damn event, but she actually went to a march and all that. But she's here now, and she's going to get to do the.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Pardon. She wanted to tell me something.
I'm
like,
so
I
sorry.
don't want to say the wrong thing.
I didn't end up going to that march.
Jessica, introduce yourself first of all, okay? She's gonna be a star. This girl here, okay? Yeah, look at you. Come
on. Hi, my name is Jessica Walker. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't end up going to that march in the end. And then this was like a anti-vaccination thing for Cambridge Union, I think it's called. But yeah, I wanted to go, but just unfortunately there was just no transport available, and there was too much I had to go on at that day. I then had, oh God, I don't know what else to say. Oh, and I won't be able to do the one that's this October. I'm going to be staying the whole time.
All right, Jessica, before you go.
Okay.
And like I said, you didn't get to Vegas, but you've been out here just for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know we can't even talk about all the big stuff that's been going on actively in her life and all that. But what can you share with us? Give me your most important insight that you've gotten so far just from your trip out here.
Oh God. Well, the first thing that I saw when I came out here, like out of the Las Vegas airport, was a poster for trafficking. Like, are you being trafficked? And then the next one was by the cart. Yeah, that was just how real this all is. It's quite scary, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you. There's two things I want to say about that, because I was going to share with these people the first thing I saw when I got back into the neighborhood. I don't know if you guys heard this, but when we were pulling into the neighborhood, the first thing we saw, 7 police cars, some kind of domestic disturbance going on, people, cops in the yard, flashing lights. I'm like, oh, back in the hood, welcome home, But the other thing I was going to say is that I was telling these guys, we've been talking about Reno and about the human trafficking corridor going through there. And Reno is sort of like a little Las Vegas. And of course, we are dealing with this mafia thing. And I'm not even going in too deep, because this issue that I've got going on right now with El Dorado and Placer County and Sacramento County and Reno and all that, and the human trafficking and the mafia and the various people on board. I mean, if you guys are listening, I'm going to go after you people. I'm going to be using your names I'm going to dox your asses. Okay. All of you motherfuckers. I don't care if you're a judge or sheriff, county commissioner, I don't care what board you're on, what California agency you're in, I'm going to dox your ass. I'm going to find every fucking illegal transaction you did. If you're fucking children, you're going to go down. If you're a fucking Mason, I'm going to have your ass. It's coming, you motherfuckers. I don't know. You may be like these Getty fucks with their eating children, and you may think that you got to eat as many children as you can before it's all over. But you motherfuckers, you're the ones that need to leave town. You're the ones that need to fucking sell everything and find a new job and get the fuck out of here because your shit is fucked. Okay? Just because we spend all our time going after these big billionaire motherfuckers doesn't mean I don't have time to fuck with you little surface level human trafficking Mason motherfucking mafia bastards. Okay? We're coming after you pricks. And every single one of you enablers in county government and state government and federal government that is involved in this shit, that are part of that fucking boys club, part of that fucking mafia. And I know who you are. I've seen it, how it works. I don't care who you are, how high up in it you are, private eye, PD, sheriff, fucking judge, whatever. We're going to come after your ass, and we're going to show all your dirty laundry. We're going to fuck you up, and there's nothing you're going to do about it because you won't do anything about it. And you can go fuck around with women that don't deserve your fucking torture, but it's all going to come down on you a million times harder than whatever the fuck you do. So you better stop what you're fucking doing and start running, you bastards, because this is going to be a big fucking deal when it comes down. And I hope heads roll. Anyway. That's just one of the things that's going on right now. I mean, I can name names, Mutef, whatever. I'm going to end up starting doing that. I'm going to fuck with you guys, people. I'm going to fuck with you, okay? If you want to say I'm doing this or that, and you want to try to sue me and all that, come on. I just got back from Vegas, and none of you motherfuckers did shit, and you knew I was there. So what more do I have to do? If I haven't learned anything from the last 20 years, it's that it doesn't matter what I do, you won't do shit. Okay? Anyway, I have a lot of reason to be very angry with a certain bunch of power-hungry bastards up in Northern California. Just personal things. I have reason to be angry with a fucking waitress at that Alexis Hotel. I'll tell you about that story. I didn't want to bitch about that. But you guys should know about this. This is a predatory bitch. So trust me, I had some wonderful waitresses like Sylvia. Sylvia was wonderful. Blanca was wonderful. Even housekeeping. Let's see. What was Guadalupe in housekeeping was wonderful. Danny that picked up the dishes, he was wonderful. Didn't even speak English, but he was cool. Trust me, there are a lot of assholes in Vegas that are hating life and hating people, but the ones that are gifted and they seem to be the ones that are serving others. Sylvia, she had a lot of cats and taking care of dogs and stuff like that. You always know the good souls, but then she was from Brazil, and she had this thing. She would use her language. She'd say, well, they'd sell a steak, and then if you wanted to buy a steak, it was $40. If you want to buy a potato, that's an extra $9. You want to buy a salad, it's extra $11, whatever. Everything you buy, asparagus, whatever, it's extra. Doesn't come on the plate. It's all, there's no sides. She said, yes, I'd like the steak, please. What two sides you want? In other words, like what two sides you want, implying that you get two sides. Fucking bitch, excuse me. Anyway, I'm not saying that she did that to me, but I had other issues, and apparently, people complain about her all the time, but the restaurant, I assume the hotel by extension, like that and allow her to get away with it because, guy comes in there with his date to watch, the Elvis impersonator or the Johnny Cash impersonator. And they're trying to impress their date. Date says, yeah, I want a potato with my salad and asparagus with my steak. Little does the poor man know he just spent $100. Anyway, no, that's just life. But the point is that deception and actually promoting it, that's not okay. So, whether or not, what do I do to that Alexis Park? Yeah, I hate, you know what? The whole place has to suffer because of that one disgusting, lying con artist. What's her name? Maria. Yeah. If you go to Maria eating their steak, if you go to Alexis Park in Vegas and you eat at their steakhouse, watch out for that Maria bitch working at nights. But if you see Blanca, give her my love. If you see Sylvia there in the morning, give her my love. Hey, guys that just showed up. But Maria, just like those other Mason bastards I'm talking to, you're not going to get away with this. Nope, 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 nope. Anyway, not with as much malice, of course, as we are directing towards those Mason people. Trust me, the mafia in Reno, Nevada is worse than the mafia in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the mafia in Las Vegas, Nevada is the one they make all the movies about, you know, like Casino and have you, because of all the gambling and nastiness. Well, you know what? The prostitutes in Las Vegas, they come into the state through Reno, and that's where the conduit is. That's where the human trafficking is. That's what they've been doing there since way back when they were bringing in Chinese laborers. Anyway, things have never changed, or things don't change that much. They might get a little more technical, but the bottom line is that these outlaws in those counties need I reckon they need a portion of justice. You know, I don't know what's the proper vernacular for the cowboys in the gold rush days and stuff like that. But yeah, them scoundrels, they need to meet up with a rope. We're going to work on that. It's crazy business. I told you about what they're doing with the property, where they get these big multi-billion-dollar developments going in, and then they inflate the value and say that's worth a lot more than it is, and whatever it is that they do, or they lower it for the taxes. I'm pretty sure what they're doing is inflating the value, which adds a whole bunch of money to their portfolio, no doubt, which allows for a lot of, so we say, payoffs. You know, it's funny. I don't know what it is. It's a mafia thing when you're transporting humans, or if it's a rich man thing, or is it a Mason thing? Which one of those things is it that makes you want to have parties with little girls and shit? Like P. Diddy dressed up in little Sailor Moon outfits, like little anime characters with lipstick. Crazy, sick shit. But once again, I think it's all the same thing. Anyway, that's our enemy. We had fun. We're going to go to Denny's, as I mentioned. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I hope the tea's good. I'm sure I won't run into a Maria. What two sides? No, never mind. I'm not going to get racist on that. She preyed on the women, damn it. She did. The poor men that are paying the bills. She'd look at the women and go, what do you want? What do you want? Okay, you want this? You want that? And it's like the man sitting there, oh, my God. My dear, I only brought so much money. Holy shit. Anyway, seriously, that's what she did. It's like she shamed the man and is getting the woman to spend all kinds of money because she thinks it's coming with a meal. No, it's not. That steak, that $43 piece of filet mignon comes on an empty plate. Just that little itty bitty piece. Anyway, you'd think they'd just put it on one plate. Screw that, you know. But I will say this. I don't mind it. I don't mind paying the money for that stuff, because I'll tell you, it still comes out to less money than what we paid at the Sonesta in their steakhouse, which is where the next event's going to be in Los Angeles at the airport, Sonesta by the airport. But I'm not complaining about the prices or the food. The food was great. I'm complaining about that evil, wicked, poisonous, nasty con bitch, Maria. So, Isabel, or Susie, if you must know, I was at war with that bitch long before we walked into the restaurant that night. So, all right? Not about you. Anyway, what else? Yeah, but stuff goes on, guys. I'm enjoying my Getty trip tomorrow, but you know, it's like people that think that going to Getty or going to Las Vegas wasn't dangerous. I don't think going to the Getty is dangerous at all. I don't think they're going to do anything to me, but at the same time, it's in their face. How much more in their face can we be, right? We're going to go there, take pictures, and use those pictures. And they're not going to sue us and say, no, you can't do that. They won't say shit. And they will never mention my fucking name. Just like Alex Jones. Yeah, but Roger Stone, he broke. He said my name. What was that? That one Getty girl. She's not even a real Getty. She's a bastard Getty. I don't remember her name right now. You know what, girl? I don't even need to know your name. You're just a little Getty bastard, but that's okay. Kendall, see Kendall. Kendall, I was in your bedroom when you were, when you had to move out of your house. I went and saw your stuff all over the place. Somebody threw your shit all over the place. Anyway, little girl, I hope you grow up and you lose all that Satanism crap and you don't turn out like your daddy. Okay, he's not a good man. All right, I do tarot cards too, but I don't worship Satan or eat babies. Okay, and guess what? I'm gonna outlive you. Anyway, I don't want to leave you with that. Okay. Listen, if you want to help us out economically, and I want to thank everybody that does, please use my PayPal. Okay. Stephen Kelly 714 at yahoo.com and say it's for a friend or a family, or I will be sending it back to you. If you don't have my email, and you should by now have this at the very least, and that's law17gun at AOL.com. Okay. And like I said, a lot of people are joining my group, and this has a lot to do with like the Tinfoil Hat podcast that went out a while back. We're up to now 7,758 members, down a few, but more people are joining. So we are growing, and people are still doing work on Twitter, and it's good stuff. Pretty soon, they're not going to be able to enjoy any of this. I mean, they're not going to be able to ignore us anymore. The enemy, meaning. And I kind of wonder myself how I would be if I was on Alex Jones' show. It'd be kind of hard to put up with the bullshit. Whenever I'm faced with bald-faced evil, I'm like a deer in the headlights. I don't even know what to think. It kind of shocks me a little bit. So I think I would probably be that way a little bit with Alex Jones. Plus, he took me aside and sat down and said, "Wow, tell me all about this Getty stuff. I can't believe I never heard about it. And you are amazing, blah, blah, blah." Sorry, I didn't mean that ego shit, but you know what I'm saying. Same thing with you, Mel Gibson, and everyone else. All you fuckers. Time will tell. It's all going to catch up. If you don't say Occupy the Getty, if you don't mention my name, you are the enemy. You enable the enemy. What's going on with my computer here? Turn on, damn it. What the hell? Did we lose the computer? Yeah. Yeah. My monitor computer's off. Oh, that. I swear. Okay, electricity, shit's going bad, okay? My heater for the house is not working, and when I diagnose it, it says a negative terminal fault, a neutral terminal fault. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? And I've got my security system, all the camera. I got 5 cameras out of 13 working. And you know what? The ones that aren't working, they're all in the front yard. Go figure. Go figure. Right? Son of a bitch. It's almost like they were getting ready to make a maneuver and they didn't want the cameras working. Anyway, we're getting fucked with, okay? I'm just over this shit. They're such pussies. They won't face me. They won't come to Vegas and face me and come to my meetings and what have you, but they'll fuck with me like a bunch of pussies with their technology. I'm over it. Jedi Trump your toys, okay? We do. And I don't mean Trump, you know what I'm saying. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm just happy I made it home in one piece. And I'll get my my shit together. I'm a little burned out from, hanging out with the kids here. But it's been fun. We got to take Jessica to Hot Topic. She enjoyed it. We went all over the place. Hell, it was all about winter on the first day, right? We hit, what? How many? Well, you guys did go shopping at Walmart. That was all about you, Jessica. But that was about me cashing my check. But you know what? I wanted to get a new Occupy the Getty hat, too. But they had the logo on the side of the hat for some hat company. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Anyway, I'm spoiled. All right. Spoiling them, spoiling me. You guys want to help me out? Spoil me a little bit. Use that PayPal. I won't have to depend on the damn, Social Security. Oh, my God. People think I'm rich. David goes, hey, you think you got more money than me? I'm like, really? Do it. I'm on Social Security. What are you talking about? It's crazy shit, huh? Well, winners get some sort of something or other. Probably no more than I get, I'll bet you. But anyway, we're all special in this group. All right, guys. I can't see who's watching because, like I said, my monitor turned off. I can't even listen to the sign out. It's no fun. I know, huh? I can't listen to my music. Do I even have my music queued up? Probably not. Let me look. At least the server didn't die. Let's be thankful for that at least. Okay. I hope you guys are not tired of my music. I know it's not the most appropriate thing in the world, but it's kind of like Pavlov's dog at this point. You get used to it, and you look forward to hearing it and all that good stuff. Okay, I know I do. Again, I'm not firing up my computer, so I'm not going to be able to listen to this on the way out with you guys. But again, I want to thank you for being here. And hopefully, maybe, God willing, we will hook up all together real life. And we won't be worried about Mason assholes and mafia fucks. And we'll all have money to pay for it. Okay? Good times, good times. All right, what time is it? Yeah, close enough. All right, everybody. Once again, my name is Stephen D. Kelly, and this is the Stephen D. Kelly Show, and we are Truth Cat Radio, www.truthcatradio.com, the one and only. It is still October 24th, 2024. It's now 6:53 p.m. 64 degrees Fahrenheit with a little haze outside. Anyway, again, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Love y'all. Glad I'm still alive. Good night. God bless. Adios. And goodbye.